Hi everyone, and welcome to Hyper Park's tour. This Hyper Park is my Planet Coaster 2 theme park I've been working on for a few weeks now, here on my YouTube channel, and this is the park tour then of Hyper Park. If you don't know what Hyper Park is, it is a theme park with coasters of 200 feet, between the heights of 200 feet and 299 feet in the air. That's the whole entire point of Hyper Park, is so that we get some tall hyper coasters in this park, and we've got 8 roller coasters and a flat ride to go through today, which we will take a ride on every single ride here at the park. There's only 9 rides, unfortunately, because there isn't many rides in the game that can go over 200 feet tall. Flat rides, that is, nothing else really. But no, here we are then at the entrance to Hyper Park, then just going over the car park here. We were here early morning then in the day, so yeah, we'll go right, and then we'll make our way around the park to the final coaster then later on in this episode. And you can see here we are then at the entrance to Hyper Park. We have every single coaster here up on a billboard. Here on one side we have the Mack Hyper, we have the Intamin Hyper, we have the RMC Hyper Coaster, and also the B&M Dive Coaster as well on this side. And then on the other side we have all the other coasters, which we'll go through in a minute. We've got tickets and info here. We've got different things, I guess, to go under 1.2 go free. On-ride filming is permitted at this park, so we can actually film this video here today for you guys. But yeah, no, I don't really care about all that kind of stuff, but oh well, it is what it is. But you can see there is Hyper Park, a new gen of thrills. We'll do what we normally do, and we'll go into the entrance then, and we'll have a look around, see if we can find different things. Or yeah, we can see if we can find all the coasters in the park, which is the whole point of having a massive glass dome here at the entrance. You can see as the rest of the coaster, we have the Intamin Swing Launch, the Vekoma Tilt, the Gerstlauer Infinity, and finally, of course, the B&M Hyper, which is, I think it's either the Intamin Hyper or the B&M Hyper, which is the park's tallest coaster. But here we are then in the actual like the dome, or the conservatory, I guess you could call it. We look out this way, you can see the Mack Hyper. Where is there? It is. There's the Mack Hyper. You can just about see the Mack Hyper coaster cresting the lift hill there. Great timing. We move over a little bit, then we can see the Intamin Hyper, then the B&M Hyper coaster. And look a little bit further around then as well, we've got the RMC Hybrid as well, which is a brilliant coaster. And then we look up, and we've just got the massive, great big swing launch, the top out on the swing launch. And then we also look out, we go a little bit more further around, then we've also got the Vekoma Tilt coaster over there, which is quite an interesting one. Then we look a little bit further over here, you can see the B&M Hyper, and you can see the Gerstlauer Infinity there actually, and then yeah, just the B&M Hyper just sneaking in behind that. So we'll go on our first coaster, then we'll go on the Intamin Swing Launch first. So yeah, this is the fastest coaster in the park then. I can't remember what the top speed, I think it's 84 miles an hour I think it launches to. So you get great views up to the top of the top out there with those beautiful custom sports. As always in this game, every single one of the coasters in this park are custom supported. I was going to go a little bit more in depth with it, but I don't think my PC would like it. Because you've just got a simple little restaurant here. My next park series, I do want to focus on more of the interiors of buildings, because some of them do look a little bit plain in Hyper Park. But at the end of the day, this isn't a theme park, this is just more a amusement park style park, funny enough. But this is one of the most iconic views in the park. We've got the coaster in the background, including the Intamin Hyper, the B&M Dive, and the RMC. Oh, we can all get that all in one shot. I think we'll try and get it all in one view. And then you'll see these. There's 2 of these in the park. There's 2 of the NR23 trademarks. Well, not trademarks, but like my just my logo. Just say who this park was created by. You can just see it there. You can see there's a few different of them. We'll actually go have a look at that. I put that individually in there. That's not a screen, you know. That's all individually placed. You can see that sunset there is beautiful with the coaster in front of it. It looks so nice. You can see the B&M Dive just going over down the drop then. And yeah, we'll go take a ride on the Intamin Swing Launch then. This is known as Bullet. This, well, like I said, it's a swing launch, so it goes for back, forth, and then it goes over the top hat. It's an inverted top hat. Guys, most similar to this in real life would be you rides like Tutatis or Spitfire. Six Flags Canoe. That's the main inspiration for this coaster. As that is, well, that's exactly what Spitfire is. There's more airtime on this coaster though, because instead of having the airtime launch on this, it just has a massive airtime hill. Massive airtime hill at the end of the ride. And it generates quite a lot of airtime. I don't know why I was going that way then, but I'm going down the fast track lane there, because every single coaster in this park as well does have a fast track lane. I tried to do ride access pass, but that didn't really end too well. So that's only on the Mack Hyper coaster, so that is quite funny. We'll go ride that later on in today's like little vlog, if you will, at the theme park then. You can see we've got netting around here as well to protect from any loose articles, even though that there are storage areas. Before you get on the ride, we'll go have a look at that in a minute. And all this has extended queue lines, like you can see here. We're going down it now. It's quite cool. I don't know if I look actually out of this, because I do have a little window there as well, so you can see it. That's more like, yeah, you can just see it flying past there. Go up top hat. goes over that top out really slow. I'm really happy with how I managed to get the how accurate I got the speed there, and I was really impressed with that. I'm not feeling too great today. I've got a bit of a bunged up nose. Hopefully that clears up. But I got to get this voiceover out to you guys before the end of the week, because that's what I said. So, but we'll go up the stairs now then, and here we are then into the station there for Bullet. You can see just looking out at the station there. You can see there's the little baggage hold, and we'll go take a ride on Bullet then. Let's go get on our first coaster of Hyper Park, and I'll see you guys when we come off. So that was our ride then on Bullet. That is the Intamin swing launch. Really interesting coaster. I do really like it. And just to go with that realism, we even have a re-ride gate here if you really want to take another ride on it, which would happen like Quiet Days, which is exactly what Stealth at Thorpe Park has. This coaster like this could definitely replace Stealth at Thorpe Park someday. You get brilliant views of the spike of the top hat in the background there. You see there's a coaster going over now into the brake run. And then yeah, the X path just goes over here over the top of the brake run, which was quite an interesting design decision. Don't know why I'm laughing at. I'm just being stupid, but I do apologise. Like I said, I'm a bit bunged up today, so get this voiceover done for you guys, and I'll get that out. Here we go then into the shop of Bullet. Then we've got ride photos on every single coaster here as well at Hyper Park. I was gonna add a bit of I was gonna add ride photos to the Intamin drop tower we've got in the background, but I didn't get around to doing that, unfortunately. But then that was our ride on Bullet then. That's the Intamin swing launch. I just love the custom sports on this because of how good they do actually look. I really love custom sport in this one. Well, I didn't. Because it's like, oh, you know, when it's all done, it's really good. And then when you're actually custom sporting, it's like, please stop, make this stop. But no, we'll go around, leave that path. We'll take a take a right then, going down this path towards the Vekoma Tilt and then the Gerstlauer Infinity. I think we'll go on the Vekoma Tilt first, out the Gerstlauer Infinity. You can see that there's another one. There's information units. There's a few of them scattered here and there around the park, as well as toilets and different things that the park needs. You can see there's the Gerstlauer Infinity. I'm so happy that I managed to get the shaping on that inversion. Or not? It's not an inversion actually. It doesn't invert. There's only one inversion on this ride. In game it says there's 5, but there isn't. There's only actually one true inversion on this on the Gerstlauer Infinity. We'll go take a ride on that one in a minute. Like I said, we'll go on the Vekoma Tilt. You can see there's the B&M Hyper in the background. But here we are then at the entrance to Riptide. This is the Vekoma Tilt. This is most similar to, again, another Six Flags Qiddiya coaster here. This is most similar to Iron Rattler at Six Flags Qiddiya because, you know, that's another tilt coaster here in the world. I think there's only actually about 3 or 4 of these new generation tilt coasters. I'm not too sure. Either way, it's quite an interesting coaster, and I do look forward to doing one someday. Maybe the one at Kota. I do like the look of the layout on that one because that was quite an interesting one. But we'll go take a ride on this coaster. There's a bit of a lag spike then there. But yeah, this is quite an interesting key line. I was going to theme up that key line underneath there a little bit more, but I didn't get around to doing it in the end. So this and then I'll So yeah, we'll go take a ride then on the Vekoma Tilt coaster, and I'll see you guys when we come off the Vekoma Tilt Riptide. So that was Riptide then, the Vekoma Tilt. I do really enjoy the look of this coaster. I really like it. I was going to say before the POV that this park will be on the workshop, and it is available for you to download. I'll give you guys the code at the end of this video. And yeah, here's a look at the ride photos, and I got the ride photo camera positioning quite well actually in this game, because it's not exactly the easiest to do. We're going to take another ride then on the Gerstlauer Infinity Coaster here. Again, that sun just shaping everything up quite nicely. I do really love the lighting in this game. It looks so realistic. Like, sometimes because I put a few preview images up on my TikTok, and do go follow me at NR23YT. Little plug in there quickly for the TikTok. I did put some preview photos of Hyper Park on there, and just some of the pictures look fantastic. See, there's the Gerstlauer stack in there. No coaster in this park stack apart from the Gerstlauer, which is a bit annoying, but is what it is. Try and get the best capacity on there, because at the end of the day, they are only short trains. But so we're going to take a ride then on Ripsaw. This is, like I said, this is the Gerstlauer Infinity of the park. Again, we've got more of the ride netting here just to stop from any loose articles. I'd love if the coaster came around then, because that would have been fantastic for the POV. But no, we'll go through then. You can see there's more of the ride, like the fencing that you got around the ride here. There is a few more of them in and around the area. You'll also notice I've gone really realistic with this, like with the signage as well, like saying like, you know, danger, ride area, risk of death, and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, you can see there's the coaster actually going into the break now. So it's only a short layout. This is I think it's not too much shorter than Karnen at Hansapark in Germany. That is my main inspiration for this ride, obviously, because that is the only Gerstlauer Infinity coaster. Well, not the only Gerstlauer Infinity, because the Smiler exists, but yeah, this isn't the own. Well, yeah, that's the only Gerstlauer Hyper coaster. Is obviously. Is the coaster out in Germany, Schwarzers Karnen, which I do look forward to riding someday. I think I'm riding it next year actually. We'll go take a ride then on the Gerstlauer Infinity Ripsaw. We'll go front row on this one as well, because you know, it's quite nice. I do really like the station for this, because it's probably one of the more well themed stations in the park. But I'll see you guys when we get off of Ripsaw. So that was Ripsaw then, just coming off the train there. I really like the models for these trains in the game. Well, they're not perfect, but I do like the look of the models on them. They look quite sci-fi, and it does lend itself well into the theming of this park. We'll I think next we'll go on the B&M Hyper in the background. Just the coaster just dwarfs, well, it doesn't really dwarf it, but it just stands there, just menacingly, if you will. I need to remove that plant there. I think I completely forgot to do that, but I mean, here you are then. Here's there's the ride photos, and again got the position quite nice on them. I wish in this game you could do like where it's two ride photos, so like it pictures like you on one side and then on the other, just make it look a bit more realistic and a bit more nicer. So that was the Gerstlauer then. We'll leave the area then, and we'll go on the B&M Hyper in the background. I think it's Nitro is. I know there's already a B&M Hyper in real life called Nitro, but this is Hyper Park, and I forgot about Nitro even existed when I named it. It was only when my mate mentioned it to me. He said, "You do realise there's a ride out there called Nitro?" I was like, "Oh, there is one, isn't there?" So yeah, but it is what it is. Nitro's a cool name for a B&M Hypercoaster, and also you'll notice as well it's actually in my colours, like my logo, because the logo, the lettering, that's in like a fluorescent green, and the background of black. This coaster has the exact same colour code as my logo, yeah, I went so far as to colour code this exactly. But yeah, this has this exact same colour code as my logo, so it looks really nice on the Skyline. Like, I didn't think it would work too well for a coaster. It was only when one of my mates suggested, said, you know what, you should do that, because it looked quite interesting for a coaster. And yeah, I'm glad I did that, because it looks really nice. Just a bit more, you can see there's the Mack Hyper. I love how this looks as well on Skyline, especially when you're on the other side of the park. Like, looking at it, it just looks so realistic, because it's got the arcade underneath there. We'll go check that one out at the end of the vlog then. It is literally like vlogging the theme park there. You can see there's the Intamin Hyper. I love the look of that as well. Just all these coasters on the Skyline with all the custom sports just look fantastic, and I just do really like it. You can see there's the B&M Dive in the background as well. I keep forgetting sometimes, because what I do sometimes is I do these I do the recording like a day or two in advance, and then I'll voice it over, so I just completely forget what I was going to talk about in the video, which is quite funny for me. So yeah, here's one of the seating areas. I'll copy and paste this over actually to the one by the Gerstlauer, because it just looked quite nice. You can see there's more of those realism ride signs, and again you've got a really nice view here of the Infinity, and then the B&M Hyper you can see just there. Another bit of realism with this. I've even got the actual chain return on the Hyper coaster. I know that's it's only a small little thing, but it adds so much. See, there's the massive drop tower. And before we say anything, I have checked. It is just under the height of 299 feet, so it is still classed as a Hyper. I've just dug it into the ground a bit so that it's still technically quite a long drop. But it is at 299 feet in the air, so that is all cool. Here is the entrance to Nitro, then we'll go for a ride on this. This has all custom fencing as well, and this took us so long to do, because it's all it's specific spaced out specifically, but it looks really nice once it's all done. So yeah, I was quite happy with how this looked. You can see some of the lighting as well here, and that is something we'll have a look at the end of the video then, how this park actually does look at night. We've got a massive cattle pen queue down there for for busier days, as this probably would happen at this theme park, because you know, not every theme park in the world has a coaster and one flat ride that is every single coaster above the height of 200 feet. But we'll go take a ride then on Nitro. I'll see you guys when we come off Nitro then. So that was Nitro then. Oh, I really like the colour scheme for this, just like the train colour and the track colour. It's just really nice. I also like the design of this train in game. It looks really realistic. Planet Coaster 2 taking more of my money, because I've seen the new update that they've announced for coming. Yeah, the RMC Raptor and that B&M Mini Dive looks so good. I might even use them in my next Planet Coaster park. Teaser at the end. But no, here we are then Coming up to then the RMC Hybrid, we'll actually watch this go by because it has got a splashdown that is perfectly timed. This was originally actually the B&M splashdown coaster in this game. I changed that to be this train because I just didn't think it looked too realistic and it didn't run well. So it looks just a bit more nice with the older style of trains. But we're going to take a ride then on Valhalla. This is the ultimate hyper coaster. Oh, not the ultimate hyper coaster. Every single coaster in this park is a hyper coaster, but no, this is apparently the ultimate hybrid coaster, which it's taller than what's it called now, Zardra and Iron Gwazi. You can see there's a bit of inspiration for Iron Gwazi there with a death, kind of like a death roll. It's not quite as whippy, I don't think. It doesn't look quite as whippy in the POV on the front row, but on the back row it is quite a whippy little inversion that is. So yeah, coming through then. Going through an actual themed queue line. Wow, themed queue line in Hyper Park when this is supposed to be an amusement park is incredible. It's like Cedar Point this is now. I mean, it has a skyline to rival Cedar Point, so we may as well call it Cedar Point. So we'll go up then into the stairs, and that light's a bit low to the ground. Also, that's a bit low, that's why I put that there. So for safety, because it's more realistic to have a massive great big red bar there instead of whacking your head on it. But these voiceovers get more and more random every single time I am talking. Now we're going to take a ride then on Valhalla. You can see here's some of the custom windows I did as well for this, because I was originally going to use the in-game Viking one. However, I decided to go with that one because it just looked a bit more realistic, and as long as I forgot the lighting right, it would have spilled out and just looked as realistic as what it does in game. Anyways, I'll see you guys when we got off our ride on Valhalla. See you guys when we get off. So that was Valhalla then. This is a really nice coaster. I really do like the look of the RMC train as well in game. It does look really realistic. You see there's a coaster stacking on the brake run there. It does happen quite a lot in this part, which it is what it is. Excuse me, I do apologise. Oh, Jesus Christ. Got a bit of a funny stomach today. But, oh wait, I just realised I forgot to have a look at the ride photos for Nitro. But we'll go through then and we'll have a look at, I think we might have a look at the ride photos. I can't remember, I recorded this quite a while back. But, no, I don't. That's good. But you can see there's the RMC Hybrid then. Like I said, on the front row it's not too whippy, on the back row it is quite whippy. If you guys do want to see that actually, do be sure to download this part. Like I said, code will be featured at the end of this video, so you can go on the Frontier Workshop and download this. Only 4 more coasters left to ride then in Hyde Park. You can see there's the turnaround section on this RMC. It's not quite as whippy as I liked it through there. But no, it's time for the final 4 coasters on this park. And this is more probably the park's most traditional coaster, like the B&M dive coaster. In terms of like elements, like it's not really focused on inversions. It's more it is focused on inversions actually, but it's more focused on inversions than it is airtime. But there is I think there is a few little airtime pops throughout this ride. It's not exactly like, you know, it's not exactly like Batman Gotham City Escape ejector airtime, is it? But still quite an interesting one. You can see such good views across this park. You see there's the traditional RMC wave term there as well, which looks fantastic. I'm really happy I managed to get that profiled. Again, nice and whippy. Not too whippy to where it just throws you out your seat, but I think there might be a train coming up the lift hill now, so we'll actually go watch this drop. Yeah, there you go, there's the train coming up the lift hill just about now. We'll go sit here underneath the lift hill and watch the train drop down. It looks so nice. I was gonna decrease the length on increase the length on the holding brake just to make it a bit more terrifying for our guests, because as you do in Planet Coaster, make it more terrifying. But it's just holding up there for quite a while anyways. It's more like a secret kind of hold. But here comes in down the drop, underneath the floor and into the inversion up there. It's quite a high inversion, that is. I keep forgetting how tall it is. And I'm really happy with the profile on this. Like, this is quite a whippy 0G roll. It's just the first 0G roll on a B&M, like a large scale B&M dive coaster. Like, I know there's one on Baron AC98. I'm trying to speak in Dutch there. Baron Acton. Yeah, I can't even do that. Baron 1898. There you go. Yeah, I know there's one on Baron, but is there like one of these larger B&M dives with that? This does also have a custom splashdown. You can see there's the vertical leap there with the beautiful custom sports. This does have like a working splashdown as well. I tried to make it more so that it wasn't jets, it was more coming out the train itself, which I think I did manage to achieve well, but it isn't as high as I would have liked it. But let's go take a ride then on Vortex, the B&M dive coaster. I've just realised I forgot to put fast track and main entrance lanes. Oh well. The park's in the workshop now, so it is what it is. You just have to deal with it. Quite cool entrance sign though, so I am quite happy with this. This is more like a tropical kind of theme, and it's almost like a tropical kind of storm, maybe, I guess. Like I said, none of these coasters are really themed. I haven't really put too much into the backstory of the themes. However, the next park series, you'll find out more stuff about it at the end of this video. But yeah, there's a massive Intamin Hyper. But yeah. It hasn't really, like my next park series I want to focus on more like the themed experience, but we're going to take a ride then on this B&M dive coaster. We'll go in the middle of the train, but I'll see you guys when we come off at Vortex. So that was Vortex then. I don't know why I'm jumping up and down like that. I must have had a brilliant ride on that. Best part about this, it doesn't have to be an bounce or roughness or rattle or whatever it is. It's just B&M roughness at this point. But yeah, I'm really happy with how this turned out again. As always in Planet Coaster Park, I'm always happy with how these things turn out because of just how realistic they do look. It got another transfer track. Every single coaster in this park has transfer track, apart from the fact that the B&Ms in this park have their own custom one for some reason. There's the there's the B&M dive ride photos. Again, they just look a little bit weird in the game because of the fact you can only focus on actually one train. We'll speed this up a bit actually because I want you guys to see how the splashdown here looks. I'm really happy with how it looks. See, we've got lighting underneath it for when it goes dark, so it actually looks more like a swimming pool. You see, I don't know why I'm following this around. It's so quick, but but yeah, it goes through the vertical leap. It's quite a slow vertical leap. It's got a nice bit of hang time, so yeah, it's quite slow over this drop, as similar to She-Cra to be fair. Comes down into the splashdown, and yeah, it looks really nice. I'm really happy with how that splashdown looks in the end of things, and I'm just happy with how this coaster like fits into its area because originally this park was supposed to have 2 more coasters in the back behind where the B&M Hyper is. Not the dive, the normal hyper. I should. Well, I don't really need to specify that if you're an enthusiast, but but no, there was originally going to be 2 more coasters in this park, including an Arrow Hyper. But the reason why I didn't go for an Arrow Hyper was because of the fact I just felt it didn't quite fit in with like the parks. Like, it's the futuristic kind of a park vibe, if you know what I mean. I know that we got some themes like a Viking theme, which isn't exactly, isn't exactly futuristic, but yeah, I don't think an Arrow Hyper really fitted with the futuristic theme. You see, such nice views of that B&O Hypercoaster just across the park. But there was originally going to be an Arrow Hyper, but I did actually have the layout built for that. And then I was just going to do a Clone of Stealth. I was going to do a Clone of Stealth as well behind the back of this, but then I remembered, although we have got the swing launch, so no, we do have the swing launch coaster, which is very similar to Stealth, so it is what it is. It would have been nice to have hydraulic launch in this park though, and I would have added it in if I had the time to. Well, not the time to. It just how it materialised. I would have preferred more coasters, probably more better capacity, but this park already has pretty good capacity because everything apart from the Mack runs on at least 3 trains, which I'm quite happy with. I managed to get that with the Ops. So yeah, this doesn't run with 2 or 3 trains. So this only runs with 1 train. This is the drop tower known as Maelstrom. We'll go take a ride on Maelstrom then, just to get some views over the park, because you do get some really nice views at the top of this coaster. It does look. It is a real nice, Again, it's another one of those like crowd pleaser kind of rides, so people are going to enjoy it, and I hope you guys enjoy it as well. Like I said, this is bang hot. This is basically 299 feet in the air, so it is. It just still keeps a hyper park like branding, like all all coasts over 200 feet tall and all that jazz. So yeah, that's why I put this in, just so you get a bit more of observation. I didn't want to put an observation tower because again, I don't think it fit with how thrilling it was. But let's go take a ride on Maelstrom then. I'll see you guys when we go off Maelstrom. So that was the park's tallest ride then, and fastest technically, I guess. It might be the fastest, I'm not too sure how quickly it drops to the bottom, but just shy of 300 feet there, which stays under our planning laws, because that's the reason why it's called, that's the reason why we had that in the first place, was 299 feet, was because of the fact we had height laws. So we're going to take a ride on the park's next coaster, Red Line. This is I think either this or the B&M is the tallest coaster in the park. So yeah, I don't know which one I prefer. I think I prefer the Intamin overall. I don't know what my favourite coaster from Hyper Park is. The RMC has to be up there for a contender. But then again, the look of the Mack Hyper Coaster just looks so nice. You see there's a coaster flying by there. The look of the Mack Hyper Coaster just looks amazing. So it's just like, it's hard to choose a good coaster in this park. Like I said, if I had to choose, it'd either be the Mack, the RMC, or this, the Red Line. So we'll go on the Mack in a minute. We'll go through the queue line again. And you get great views across the park here. Can you see the Mack Hyper from here? You should be able to. If I just go a little bit further over, you might be able to see it. And there it is. You can just about see it through the trees there. The thing is with this park as well, it's just a game of like guessing where all the coasters are, because everywhere you look there's just a coaster. You can see there's another one of the baggage holes up here as well. And we're going to take a ride then on Red Line. I'll see you guys when we come off Red Line. I will go back over some of these rides, but I don't want to. But see you guys when we come off Red Line. So that's the second to last coaster we're going to be riding in today's video then. We'll come off of this coaster and we'll go over to Overdrive now. Overdrive is like one of my first realistic coasters on this series, or not on this series, sorry. My first realistic coaster I ever did of the realistic coaster series. I did a few others beforehand, but they were more well themed than anything else. See, there's the ride photos there again. But yeah, so we're going to go over to my first realistic coaster, like, because I've been doing this now for a little while now, the realistic coaster series, and it's really doing well. And I am definitely, I'm stuck on what to do next. Like, I really want to do a terrain coaster, but I'm not too sure what manufacturer to go for. But there's the arcade there. So yeah, we'll go find Overdrive then, looking over at the park. Then you can just get this a brilliant view of this. What the hell? I've appeared to have fallen into the ground. But we'll just watch the rest of this, the swing launch, and we'll get ourselves out of the situation. So satisfying to watch coasting this game. Anyways, let me get out of this situation because I can't jump out. Problem solved. I've got no idea what happens. This game's pathing system is a little bit glitchy sometimes, but it's what it is. Again, look at the views. That's the thing with this park, it's just made for views, especially with the lake in the middle. Like, it's almost giving me Universal Bedford vibes with the lake in the middle. But here's the pathway down then to our hypercoaster, well, the first hypercoaster that we ever opened in this park, and probably like I said, it's probably one of my favourite coasters in this park because it's just a real nice ride. You can see Redline as well, just poking above the trees there with the single inversion on that ride. Every single coaster in this park has an inversion, I'm pretty sure, apart from the B&M Hyper. I'm pretty sure about that anyways. But you see here's the realism, they got toilets and a bit of food shops there. But yeah, we'll go on Overdrive then, just again with the lake in the middle as well, just really sets the scene. This is what Hyperion wishes it was with the Overbank. I don't know what I was doing there, looking through the trees, but this is what Hyperion wishes it was. I'm not trying to toot my own boat there, but that is literally what someone said to me one time. This is what Hyperion should have been. It's just full of airtime, like camelbacks, you know, just things that make a hypercoaster, I guess, because that's what this park is. It's just hypercoasters everywhere. If I say hyper anymore, I'm probably going to put a hyper counter in the top corner of this video. So yeah, we'll go take a ride then on Overdrive. Originally it was called Overdrive the Hypercoaster, but because of the fact that this is in Hyperpark and every single coaster here is a hypercoaster, guests might be a bit confused. That's not the only hypercoaster in this park. Why is it called the Hypercoaster then? So but no, again, the branding probably is still somewhere around here, like this says Overdrive the Hypercoaster or something like that. So yeah, you can see just over there, over the lake, we look over the lake, and we'll go take a ride on Overdrive. Then we'll go through the main entrance because that's what we've done for every single coaster in this video. I probably should have gone through the fast track line just to make it a bit more quicker, but it is what it is. You'll also notice as well by the entrance to every ride, I have the height restrictions. Well, you can see the coaster there, just about there, to the trees. I have the height restrictions board because that's something new that I added. That's the first time I did that was in Hydra, my B&M Hyper, sorry, my B&M what's it called now? Invert that I did recently. That's where I got that blueprint from. Well, not blueprint, I actually made it myself, but like I said, we'll go take a ride on Overdrive. Every single coaster in this park has a minimum height requirement of 1.2 meters because at the end of the day, every single coaster is is a big ride, and it'd just be easier just to go with a 1.2 minimum height requirement. I was going to go for 1.3 for some of these coasters, but I thought no, 1.2, we'll go with that. I guess it's not realistic, but either way, let's go take the final ride of this park then on Overdrive. The entire coaster that actually started this park series, and I'll see you guys when we get off Overdrive. Yeah, let's hope we enjoy our ride on this. But I mean, I hope I enjoy my ride on this. I will enjoy my ride on this. And that was Hyperpark's last coaster then, well, the first coaster actually that we ever built. But that was Hyperpark's final coaster then, the Mack Hyper coaster then. We'll go back to the front of the entrance and end this video off then with a overview tour with a few different things then. So yeah, let's get out of here then, shall we? Not that I want to, I love this park. It's actually such a shame when I finish the park series, because it's just like, you know, I spent so long on this. You know, you guys have watched me through this as well, through this series of Hyperpark. And this is actually... oh, that's cool. I got to watch the ride photos change. I think this must be either my 5th or 6th actual park series that I've completed now. Well, not 5th or 6th, about 4th or 5th park series that I have completed now. Obviously Asgard was, you know, less I said about that, the better. I still get PTSD whenever I get a corrupt warning come up on my PC, which happened actually just before I filmed this video. So that was not fun. That was just a little blueprint that I took off the workshop that corrupted, which is what it is. This game is still has quite a few glitches in it, but it still looks fantastic, and it's definitely better than Planet Coaster 1, especially when you're building like realistic coasters like this, especially that scaling tool. The scaling tool is elite. You know, I could use that scaling tool all day and I could just get away with it. We're actually going to have a look in the arcade quickly then, because this is obviously one of the most recent updates then for Planet Coaster 2 was arcades and stuff like that. And I'm really happy with how this looked. Like, it's obviously not the most well-themed thing in the world. You can see we've got prizes here. We've got lighting here and around, and it does look really nice, and I am really happy. That's the thing I'm not really the best at the minute, is the interior of buildings, and obviously that will be improved on my next park series then when it comes to me starting that, which it already has been started. So yeah, but we'll leave Hyperpark then for the final time then. Obviously, like I said, you guys come check this out. This park is officially open now. And I'll give you guys the code to Hyperpark in a minute. Then we'll just get out quickly. And I'm actually going to wait here by the spinning Hyperpark logo, which is quite a cool idea when I first did that. Quite an interesting design choice. You can see there's dome as well then. But if I just go over here then, and we're just going to have a look at one final time over the skyline. If I just do this quickly. We are now at night time. This park has full night lighting as well, which just looks unbelievable. Like, the lighting in this game again looks fantastic. And once again, as always, as I normally say, I'm very happy with this park then. Let's go to an aerial view then of this park. So that is Hyperpark completed and over then. If you guys did enjoy this one, please hit the like and subscribe button. Thank you for watching the tour of Hyperpark. I know it's been a bit of a drag because my voice is very boring after a little while and I'm not feeling 100%, but yeah, this park looks fantastic with all the lighting and stuff like that. And yeah, like I said, I'm just so unbelievably happy with how Hyperpark turned out. The code will be coming up on the screen in a minute, I will say when it does. But no, we just look over it, it's just got a massive park, you know, we've got lighting everywhere. So yeah, thank you guys for watching this one. The code is on the screen right about now, I think. It should be on now. Is it coming on? Is it coming on? There it is. Code is on screen now if you want to download Hyperpark, and it would be appreciated if you could go give this a download. Thank you guys for watching Hyperpark, and make sure to like and follow for more, or like and subscribe for more Planet Coaster 2 content, and I'll see you guys at a brand new video next time. Goodbye. Wow, this is a beautiful field to build a theme park on. We'll have to start building it over the next few years, shall we?